I'm going to call this a follow-up to my last video on the Canning Town tube station incident with Extinction Rebellion. Lorraine Kelly was one of the growing number of people who were critical of this movement, and I don't think Lorraine Kelly is exactly a right-wing reactionary. I don't believe this is a left-right thing. I mean, definitely a lot of this sort of activism comes from the hard left, but this is the thing about Extinction Rebellion, and this is what I would pitch to those people who maybe are kind of sympathetic to them and they don't quite agree with the tactics, but they say, oh well, it's for the greater good. I have seen a lot of reasonable environmentalists, people involved in green jobs, people involved in ecological research, people involved in clearly what Extinction Rebellion would see as the right side of the argument, i.e. not climate change deniers. And they have left comments on the Extinction Rebellion page, I've seen them, and said things like, oh, please don't target environmentally friendly transport, target the ones that are doing the polluting. But what they fail to understand is that Extinction Rebellion is a law unto themselves, particularly the leadership. This is a movement that has very little self-restraint. This is a movement that is pretty intolerant, actually, internally speaking. I mean, I think the movement will collapse from internal divisions, and I think it's only a matter of time, but if you look at the sort of mentality they have, they plan actions, and the activists have to just go along with it, or rather they're encouraged to go along with it, and someone is funding their legal fees. The casual way in which Roger Hallam and others, Claire Barnbrook I think was the other co-founder, apologies if I'm getting that name wrong, but the way they're literally advocating, oh, just break the law, it's important to have as many arrests as possible to make the impact. I really think that the movement is going to start to turn on itself, because I think there may be some people who naively joined the movement with good intentions because they believed it was about the greater issue of climate change. I actually think that's only part of the issue here. I think they're partly using it. I think people like Roger Hallam are basically anarchists. I mean, he has said his goal is to bring down governments, and I think they're using the climate change thing. I think they probably are they legitimately believe they're right about it, but if it was another topical issue, they use that as a way to get involved in mass disruption. If it was another sort of issue they could latch onto, because overwhelming majority of scientists do back the consensus that climate change is influenced by human activity. But what I'm starting to see actually is, well, hopefully the moderates will start to realise they're wasting their time trying to get these people to see reason. Extinction Rebellion hardcore activists don't care. They just do not care. All they are interested in doing is having their 15 minutes of fame, making their mark in disruption, and that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if tube trains run on electricity. It doesn't matter if they're targeting environmentally conscious companies. They're right, everyone else is wrong. So they've this duality of thinking, this very intolerant black and white mentality. We're right, everyone else is wrong. And that's dangerous because it leads to a mentality we can do whatever we want. And if you look at them, the sort of self-praising that they come out with, oh, nice one, heroes, some rebels joined the protest tonight, they really do see themselves as revolutionaries. But this is not a revolution with widespread support. So it's not a true revolution. And like I said, the rebellion has started against Extinction Rebellion. Not because people don't care about climate change, but because people are not going to tolerate these tactics being imposed on the public. You target the public's going to start targeting you. That's always been the way. And that's what we're going to see here.